Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our Kibana in Action series. I am Soini, I'm the growth manager here at Hyperflex, and I'll be here today hosting today's session. For those joining us for the first time, this is our monthly series where we explore how Elastic and Kibana can be used in real world industry use cases. In our first episode, we had focused on the travel industry, and now we are moving to a very exciting space, which is the retail sector. So, before we deep dive into a little bit about what we do here at Hyperflex, I would love to know from whoever is joining us today where they're joining us from. Talbia, I can see you have joined us. Would you like to share where you have joined us from?
What about sure. Right now? I have joined from New York. I'm actually a STEM MBA student at Fordham University, Gabelli School of Business.
Oh, okay. All right. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, so let's deep dive into what we are doing here at Hyperflex. Um, Hyperflex is an Elastic certified partner. Our team works on Elastic solutions across search, observability, and security. Whether it's consulting, migration, or managed services, we help businesses and organizations make the most out of their Elastic environments. We have over 21 Elastic certified engineers, including 5 certified Elastic engineers and 16 observability specialists, all focused on helping businesses get most from their Elastic stack. Our team is spread across New York, Canada, and India, ensuring that we provide global coverage. Joining us today is Sarvagya. He is our Elastic certified engineer here at Hyperflex. He is an expert in observability and search. He has worked on multiple real world implementations of Elastic, and today he'll walk us through how Kibana is being used in the retail industry with a hands-on look at building dashboards and identifying insights from real-time data. So over to you, Sarvagya.
Thank you so much, Soini. All right, welcome everyone for to today's webinar. Uh, we'll be talking mostly about e-commerce retail. I'm Sarvagya Tiwari. I'm currently working as a technical consultant at Hyperflex. And now I'm sure everyone here, whether you're from like any background, you're from merchandise or tech or maybe operation or marketing, you have lived that moment where it's a Friday evening and you're in middle of a campaign and the sales are surging. You're suddenly someone yells that, hey, why did the conversion drop 10%? And you don't know. You're scrambling your dashboards, your reports and everything, but like you don't know what's happening. So that's where Elastic and Kibana comes into play. You never have to guess anymore. And Elastic will definitely tell a nice story about it. So let me just share my PPT. All right. So right now I know, like, because in retail every click tells a story. So today I'll show you how Kibana helps you see that story in real time and across your entire like customer journey. So by the end of this session you will understand how brands use Elastic to boost your product search, how they improve your checkout experience, and get you that instant visibility into what's working and what's not. Like, you have the data but you don't know how to make use of that data. So that's where Kibana and Elasticsearch comes into play. So let's talk about why Kibana. Why am I here bragging about Kibana for e-commerce? So we have certain reasons. We have certain criterias uh, that is why we are choosing Kibana right now. So the big question comes here is, why do retailers use Kibana? So because there are features that Kibana provides you, that real-time visibility, you that from that digital storefront. Whenever with Kibana, you can like watch the customer funnel in motion. So if the traffic goes to add to cart, if they want to check out something, if they are purchasing, if that is a success, this whole funnel gets transparent through Kibana. And like if I talk about Black Friday during high pressures, even like Black Friday, you can say Big Billion Day or Cyber Mondays, this is gold. So Kibana basically monitors your sales velocity, your cards, your promo performances as it happens. So you have everything, your revenue impacts, your broken checkouts, your slow API calls, everything that is monitored through Kibana. That's why e-commerce right now retailers are using Kibana a whole lot, because in the background they don't have to worry about anything, and Kibana will look into it for them. And the best part of here is that Kibana isn't just for engineers. If you are from a marketing background, if you are merchandise, your ops team, you can use Kibana easily. I'll tell you in the session only that how easy it is to perform actions in Kibana, and hopefully you'll learn everything really nicely. So let's move on to why the elastic architecture is so easy to understand, and how we can simply divide it into 4 steps, and we'll go to each step one by one. So first step is our data sources. Of course, we have some kind of data. If we have some kind of website, we have some kind of payment system, we have some mobile app or anything, of course, we are collecting some data. So these are our data sources, and Elastic can pull everything in. Like even if that is a website, mobile app, we have integrations that can pull all the data from everywhere. So the first step is collecting that data from the data sources. The second step is ingestion. Of course, we'll have to ingest it somehow to our Elasticsearch servers, our Elasticsearch clusters. So that's where we have certain things like Elastic Agent, Logstash, that takes that raw chaotic data and transform it into a clean, structured JSON. So right now I'll be using the word JSON a lot because your document are stored in JSON format. We'll deep dive into it later in the session. But yeah, after ingestion, we'll go to Elasticsearch, and then we'll go to Kibana. So Elasticsearch basically is our fast brain for that searching. If you have like questions like, what is my top selling product this week in New York? So even if you have terabytes of data, Elasticsearch will be able to search that answer for you and will provide it to you nicely. And afterwards, Kibana comes into play, which is the fun part, I should say, because you have all the data, but you don't want to mess around with it. You don't want to find everything. So Kibana can create that visualization for you, those alerts for you, and you just have to sit back and relax and let Kibana do its thing. Yeah. So we'll be moving to some of the core uses. So basically, before I tell you how to use something, I should tell you why we are using it and what are the best features of Kibana and Elastic. So what I'll do is we'll go into each of the use cases one by one, and we'll see how you can use those use cases and how you can improve your retail experience through Kibana. So for the first one, we have product catalog search and discovery. So this is, I should say, the main use case of Kibana. If you are of retail background or e-commerce, you definitely or most commonly have a product that you want to sell, that you want to have the data on, you want to search on. So Kibana provides you that, and Elasticsearch provide you that simpler search mechanism. So what I can do is I can show you an example that I've created, or Elastic is providing a demo website for catalog and searches, product searches. So right now you can see a website, a demo website of all the clothing brands that is using Elasticsearch in the background. And we'll be doing searching, and I'll be telling you all the features that we have around search in Elastic. So let's do one example. Let's talk about first how instant the search is and how it uses some of the features like autocomplete. So let's say, for example, I search a shirt here. Let me just type SHIR, and you can see it is already suggesting me some nice shirt examples, like you want a red shirt, you want a gray shirt, and everything. So this features is autocomplete. Now, if in the first impression you are thinking like, I want to start typing, I don't know what exactly I'm searching for, but I want something related to it. Of course, it will give you all suggested answers If you are just writing for a sweatshirt, you are just writing swear, and it is telling you we have a sweatshirt in gray color if you want that. That is such a nice experience for a customer, right? So one of the features is autocomplete, which is really good. One of the features that Elastic provide is a synonym. So we all know that customers describe products in their own way. One says hoodie, another says sweatshirt, another can say hooded jumper or anything. So, but they all mean the same thing, right? So Elastic lets you connect to these dots. You can define synonyms in the background where you can just say, like, I want to search for hoodie, but in the background it has that connection between hoodie and sweatshirt. So it will provide you all the result based on that. You can just search for sweatshirt and you'll get the result for hoodie as well. Let me just search for one of the sweatshirt. I think we have enough product around sweatshirt, so it will just show sweatshirt right now. But of course, it will do the same for hoodies too. One more thing that Elastic is offering in the search is relevance tuning. Uh, don't get confused with the word, like it sounds really heavy, but it basically means that you can do some kind of personalization. Suppose you have a profit strategy. Of course, if you are in the e-commerce business, you have to make some kind of profit through a certain product. You want to push certain products. You want, if there is some kind of Black Friday sale, you want certain products to be above in the search. So that's where relevance tuning come into play. So what it does is it gives you a way to boost your high margin items and your products that are in stock a little higher in the search system. So Elastic has a really simple way to do that. If I want something like, let's say, a red shirt or maybe just a shirt, and I want, let's say I want this gray shirt to be the first item. I can simply do that through Elastic. I can just push that above, and all of the customer that are searching for shirt will get this gray shirt at very first item. So that is a really nice feature that you can achieve really easily. We'll deep dive into this, like what's happening in the background as well. But right now, let me just list all the features. Another feature that is really nice and that provides that customer experience is fuzzy matching. So right now, let me tell you what I mean by that first. So let's talk about something that we all know too well: typos, right? If we are on a mobile, we half the time it autocorrects a t-shirt into something else, this short or something, right? So let me try searching for t-shirt with extra t. Let's say what it does. Let's see. So let me just do that shirt. Yeah. You can see right now I'm spelling it with an extra T. Still, we are getting the result, right? You know that like the customer can type anything, can have some kind of typo. Again, we want a search system to accommodate for that typos, right? So this is like that's called the fuzzy matching first. This is the concept. So Elastic in the background is using an algorithm that says, hey, close enough, but I know what you meant. So don't worry, I got you. And basically this is like the chillest store for you. You can just search anything, you can do all the typos, and it will handle it. So let's see this in action. Let me just quickly redirect to an Elastic console. So this is the Kibana console. Let me just introduce that first. Right now we are, I have created a cluster specifically for this webinar. So we'll be dealing with some kind of data that I'll be introducing later in the session. Right now, let's go to DevTools. You don't have to worry about any of the coding stuff that I'll be doing here. We'll be doing it line by line, so don't worry about it. Let me just quickly, yeah, okay, I can type now. So I'm just writing a simple command that is just trying to fetch our data. So right now, this is an API call that is fetching the data from our index. The index name is Kibana sample data e-commerce. And you'll ask, what is an index, right? So let me quickly first give you the concept of index and data view. So in Elastic, we are basically storing our data in forms of JSON documents. You have a field and you have a value. Suppose you have a product, you select the product name as a field, and you gave the name as a shirt, a red shirt, a t-shirt, anything. So all these documents are then collected and stored into an index. Now, index is basically a collection of all those documents that have a similar type of property. If we are talking about clothing, I have just have this sample data e-commerce. I just named it that. And we have this data. We can just search on this data. We can use this index for all our searching purposes. So right now I'll be writing a query. Let me just open my curly braces. Let's just say query, and let's just do a match. Basically, what I'll be doing is matching our field with, I'll be explaining you in detail what exactly is happening, but yeah, product.name underscore name. Yeah. And if I use this, should get like this. Now I'll just do a query again, and I'll just type a t-shirt with a double T. Right here, I'll just give another option of which Elastic easily provides fuzziness, and I'll just type auto. We just do it in all caps. And we just want the size to be of 5. Yeah, instead. Okay, now let me explain what exactly I'm doing. So what we are doing is just running a get API call because we want the results to be fetched. We are running it in the Kibana index, the index, and we are using the underscore search API call. Right now, I have opened a query where we just want to match to the products which has a t-shirt name in this field, products.product name. So I just use the match query and I put the fuzziness as auto. So right now, if I just write t-shirt, it should give perfect result, right? But even if I add another t, because we have the fuzziness auto, it should still provide me some results. And you can see it just took 6 milliseconds and we have result right here. And right now I'm fetching everything. Let me just quickly fetch just the source of it and just provide the name as product start. Just a sec. Yeah, product start. Product underscore name. And hopefully it should just provide me that. Oh, I forgot a comma. Yeah, now you can see all the hits and what exactly is in the product name. So even if we have a shirt white in the name, I have like searched for t-shirt with a double T. It is still providing me relevant results. So that is what, like, it is so easy to achieve this in Elasticsearch. You can see in front of just a single API call can achieve fuzziness here. So yeah, I just wanted to show you in the background, all of these features are pretty easy to achieve and we can simply do that. Right here, I did it in 5 minutes and we can do that to all of our fields, all of our products and everything. All right, so let's move on to another core concept. So of course, searching was the big part. Like search is make or break for e-commerce. Like we have all rage quit a site that couldn't find what we typed. So of course, search was a big part of it. But let's move on to some other use cases, which is our conversion funnel optimization. Like don't, I know this is a heavy word, but what it means is that Elastic lets you visualize that funnel live, like how many people view, add to cart, complete checkout on your website. You can instantly see all the drop-offs. You can see maybe a mobile checkout is lagging or something, like a promo code is broken, anything. So Elastic lets you monitor that. If you have that data, Elastic will build nice dashboards on it and you can monitor it live. One more issue is, of course, error detection. We all want that. If we have a failed checkout and we have lost revenue, so Elastic alerts can help you, like, help you visualize that, help you smooth that factor, which like you can just the second something goes wrong, it will click a API call and you can get that alert wherever you like. It will let you have that action over email and everything. We'll deep dive into that. And another thing is, of course, failure monitoring, price visibility, your real-time inventory, everything. So imagine knowing right now what's in the stock, what's low, and what's overselling, everything. So if you have that data, you can visualize that really nicely through Kibana. And those were some main use cases of Kibana in terms of retail. All right, let's move on. Right. Now, one of the biggest benefit of Kibana is that even if you have certain events, it will handle it really smoothly. So let's talk about Black Friday for an example. So we all know this day, every retail server starts sweating. And here's where Kibana truly shines. Like you can build live dashboards that show uh, your average order value, your revenue per minutes, that backend latency and that checkout time. It easily slows down, of course, before they hit the customer. So you can have that easily. It reacts really fast. It helps you protect that revenue and everything. And even if in the background you have all those dashboards, you can easily handle it even in the Black Friday sale. So let me quickly show you an example of how these dashboards look like. Of course, I've created some of them just for an example. Let me quickly show you. So right here, you can see we have this APM journey. Basically, this is the dashboard that is monitoring all the API calls. Suppose someone in the products is hitting for the cardigan. You can see the slowest duration there. You can see slowest duration in all of the API calls. You can see where exactly where like all the traces. If someone hits this API call, you can see that in everything. This one is a little technical, so let me deep dive into the other one. So right here you can see this one is an e-commerce default dashboard that is there by that Elastic provides. So you can see it is giving you some of the revenue. You can see the median spending, what exactly you're doing, average items sold per day, sold products. You can see your like this nice bar chart which is giving you the target revenue. You can see all the transactions and everything. And of course, it provides you a nice options of having this maps that you can use nicely to, get the data and segregate it by region. We'll deep dive into this in the session as well, how to create these maps. But yeah, you can get an idea of what exactly we are dealing with, how this visualization can help you understand the data really easily. Let me give you another example that we have created just for the Black Friday. You can see we have an option of having the time frame. You'll see this all across Kibana. We'll be talking about this. Like you can select the time frame and the data exactly that you want of certain day or maybe certain week. So you can do that. But see, the total revenue, you can see that we have certain maps, you can divide it and like you get the idea, right? Total orders, average orders per days or week. So yeah, these were the example. But the idea is that you can use the dashboards to basically control your sale. It's your mission control. With one glance, you can see all the promotions that are exploding. You can see which products are trending and which are not. You can see which system like need love or which needs more promotion. You can really distinguish that. So Elastic basically helps you react fast and protect that revenue. So let's move on to one of another feature, which is geomaps. Right now, what I'll do is I'll quickly show you demo side by side on how to create maps as well and visualization. So let me just move on to my other window. Okay. Now, let me just redirect to home. Now, we'll start from the beginning, how Kibana helps you visualize all the dashboards and how to do that. So you have this main window here of Kibana. You have a nice hamburger on the left and a search bar on the top. So right here, you can see we have all the options like discover, dashboards, and visualize library. We'll be deep diving into dashboards in this session and maybe maps in this session, but we will cover all the topics in the next episodes. Yeah. So let me just show you how the search bar also works. So I can just search for dashboards and you can just click it right here and it will redirect you to a nice new dashboard. Now, what exactly is a dashboard, you will be asking? So dashboard is nothing but a collection of all the visualizations that you need. So now you'll be asking, what is a visualization? So basically, let me just redirect to here. Visualization is all your data that you are using and that you want to have a nice view of. So that's why we create a visualization in Kibana, and we'll be using multiple of those and create a dashboard. Like for example, right here, the single block is a visualization, and the collection of all the visualization is a dashboard. All right, now let's deep dive into how to create this visualization. So right now, you'll just have to redirect. Just click on this hamburger and click on this visualize library. You'll see a nice blue button here of create visualization. Now, if I click on it, you'll see there are two options. One is recommended way, because these are certainly easier compared to the legacy, but we'll be deep diving into both in this session. So I'll be starting with the hard stuff first, and then we'll go to lens maps and everything. So let me just show you legacy. We have two options here, which is TSVB and aggregation based. So I'll be starting with aggregation based. You can just click on it. You'll see all the different type of aggregations that you can use in Kibana. So let's say, for example, I just use data table. Right here, it will give you an option to select what kind of data view you want, what kind of data you want to build this visualization on. So right here, in this cluster, we only have this two option, but if you have a list of indices, it will show you that. If you have multiple indices and you want all those indices to be selected, we have a concept of data view. So suppose, as I said, an index is your collection of documents, right? So all your data is stored in an index. But in Elastic, we have this limit that we can only store 50 gigs of data in one index. So if you have 100 gigs, we'll be dividing it into two index, right? So, I want those, all the data to be visualized. So what I do is I just create a data view and I just select both of this index in that data view. And we just basically group all the indices in under a certain data view. So right now we have that data view in Kibana sample data e-commerce. I'll be selecting that. Now, you will get this nice page of what exactly will be happening. And you can see this top part with data view, with this search bar, with this timestamp. This will be there in all of the other options as well. So I'll be first deep diving into this. Firstly, we have this data view option. I am selecting the Kibana sample data e-commerce, of course, before that. Right now, I only have this option, but you can select anything here. So by this, Kibana knows what exactly which data you want to visualize. Other than that, we have two of the options for query. This one basically means that if you want to add a filter on those data, like I don't want the whole data, I just want this section. I just want my product name to be t-shirt. I just want to work on t-shirt. So you can just add that filter. You can select the field names, whichever product key, product name you want. You can just use the operator as is and just select a value. Suppose I just want a t-shirt. So I can just add that filter and it will just change that count. Right now, I don't have any of the data with this particular t-shirt, but yeah, you can do that. And you can see that filter is getting applied right here. You can add more filters like so, and you can just remove the filter by clicking on this X as well. So I'll just do that. And instead of last 15 minutes, let me do last 7 days. Yeah. By default, it is showing us a count of all the docs that are there that are ingested in last 7 days. Of course, this is the UI of adding the filter. You can simply use a language as well. So I can just write a product name. I can choose that field. Suppose this, I can just use a colon and you can see it is already providing me a drop down of all the top 10 values. So Elasticsearch does that in the background. And if I click on this, I just click on this update button on the very right and it should update me with the filter. So right now, as I said, I don't have this particular document, so it is giving me a 0 value. But of course, yeah, you can remove this filter and update it again, and you'll see all the values again. Pretty quick, pretty simple. Now, one more issue here is like which timestamp I want my data from. So it provides you a nice quick select option which gives you option whether you want the last or the next data, whether you want 7 days or 10 days of data, whether you want days, hours, minutes, seconds, anything. You can select anything. It is giving you a commonly used section as well. If I just click on last 7 days, it will select that. If I click on last 30 days, it will select that, and like so. So these features will be present in all of the other options as well. So I just wanted you to get familiar with this. Now we'll move on to what exactly is our aggregation based type of visualization. So right now you can see we have a nice column of data and options here. What you'll do is you'll just click on this metric count. Right now it is on count. Basically, it is giving you all the doc count for the last 7 days. But if we want to choose something else, let's unique count, and maybe we can select a field. We will select, let me just select a single field of new products, because we'll be working on different kind of visualization, and I want you to get an idea of what is different in them. So we'll be selecting a single field. We'll be using it in all of the visualization. So let me select some kind of nice field. Maybe the product name should be good. So yeah, let me do that, and you'll see all the unique counts of product names right here. If I just add a bucket, now adding a bucket is basically segregating your data in a certain way. So it provides you an option of split rows and split table. Right now we'll be using split rows. We'll be adding another aggregation here. Let's say term aggregation, and we'll be using same field, which is our product name, where it is. Let me just search for it. Product. Yeah, there it is. And we'll be using the size of 10, because why not? Elastic is pretty simple. Yeah, you can see the UI is so easy to understand. Like right now, you might be confused what will be the result, but as you see the result, you'll see what exactly this means. I'll try to explain it as well. So let me just click on the update button. So what I'm doing right here is I am fetching the unique value, unique count of this field. And what I'm doing is I'm splitting it in terms which already have this field. And what we are doing is keeping the order as descending. So what it means is, whether if I have a print t-shirt black and I have 49 of those, so, or maybe 39 of those, so it will be on the very top. And I can change this size to 5 again. I can do anything. I can do all kind of customization, and you can see it is updating it nicely, right? So this was the basic aggregation part of visualization, which you can use, but we'll be deep diving it into lens and everything later in this session. But yeah, you have another, like you can see there is a toggle of data and options. So you can just click on options and you'll see more options on this data only. Like you can click on show total. So right now, if the values are not showing you a total, and I select the total function as sum, I can just update it and it will give you a total right here. You can click on show toolbar. You can update, it will give you a toolbar. It also have partial rows. If you have some kind of field that is taking a huge line, you can just click on show partial rows, auto fit rows and everything. But yeah, this is basically there to tweak your visualization the way you want. We have a lot of options. Now, after you have created a visualization that you like, of course, you want to save it. You don't want to do this again and again, right? So you can see this this save button on the top right. Just click on it. It will ask you whether you want to add it into a dashboard. Like I said, visualization is like dashboard is nothing but a collection of visualization, right? So it is giving you an option to whether you want to add this to an existing dashboard, whether you want to create a new dashboard for it, whether you don't even want to add it anywhere. So right now, what I'll do is I'll create a new dashboard for you. Let's say test visualization, and what I'll do is, yeah, I'll quickly explain you the description and tag part of it as well. Description is nothing whether you want to describe this visualization by anything, like this is my product description or anything. And you can add a tag as well. Now tags basically give you a benefit of adding all this visualization under a group. If I just create it as a test tag, let me create it test tag. Yeah, right here. You can see the tag is now like this inscribed into this particular visualization, and you can save and go to dashboard. Pretty simple, pretty quick. You just have to use the UI, and you can see we are redirected to dashboard. We are editing a new dashboard. We have created this test visualization there the way we liked it. We named it test visualization, right? And you are seeing like a visualization getting popped into a dashboard. Right now, I'll save this dashboard as well. Like in the same top right corner, you can see the save button. You'll save this dashboard as well. Let me just do test dashboard, and you can add a description for the dashboard. Of course, you can add a tag. If I just want to create the same, use the same tag, we can do that. And it gives you a nice option of storing time with dashboard. So right now I want the data of last 7 days. I can just click on that. It will just take last 7 days. If I don't do that, I can have the live data as well. So for now, let me save it with the timestamp and just click on save. It will save it nicely. If I go back to dashboards, you can see our dashboard getting saved. Now, you might ask why we are using this tag, right? So suppose I had thousands of dashboards and I just wanted some of the dashboard that I created. So what I can do is I can just go here, I can click on test, and it will filter all the dashboard based on the tags. So right now I'm only seeing the one that has test in it, right? So it is pretty useful way to segregate your dashboards. The ones that you want to use, you can just do that with tags. So that's where tags come into play. Now, again, I'll go back to visualize library. You'll see our visualization there as well. Let me just go back a bit. Right here as well, you are seeing the tag too. Same function here too. Because this was the type of data table, I want to show you some other types as well. Let's go again to aggregation type. You can see maybe vertical bar. Let's try it. We'll be selecting our data view again. And right now, what it is showing is the count of everything, every document in a nice vertical bar. So right now it is showing everything, but of course we'll be changing that. So we don't want the count anymore. We want, suppose we want top hits. We want it on a field. Of course, I'll be using the same field as I said. Let's use, where it is. Okay, I think it is only taking the number values because of top hit. Let's choose something else. Let's say average, and we can now see product. Hopefully, let's use base price then. And we will add a nice x-axis as well. We'll be using our terms again, and we'll be selecting our field as product name values. Now, I'll be explaining what exactly will be happening, but as you can see, as I click on updates, it is pretty quick. It will show you a nice visualization. Right now we are using the vertical bar stack. That's why it is like this. So what I did is for the y-axis, I'm using the base price. It is not you have the options of selecting any fields anywhere in the y-axis or the x-axis. But right now I'm using product base as the y-axis. And I'm creating a bucket, basically segregating the values based on terms with the field of product name. So right now you can see in the x-axis, we have all the different kind of product names. If I want the size to be 10, I can just update it. You will see 10 lines now. If I want them in ascending order, you can just do that and update. You will see now in ascending order. Pretty quick, pretty easy. So all this aggregations that Elastic is offering have their own purposes. You can use any of them for any of the fields, and you can, play around with it. If you feel like that I don't have like I want some kind of documentation for it, we have that as well. You can see right here all kind of different aggregations. If you select top hit, you will see top hit help. If you select average, you'll see average help. And if you click into onto it, it will redirect you to documentation explaining everything in really simple language. You can just do that, and you can see all of the different type of aggregation here: average, max, min, everything. So really useful, really nice way to integrate in the UI. You can also do the similar for the like bucket aggregations as well. So yeah, pretty nice. Let's try to go back again. So I am not saving every visualization. We'll be going over multiple visualization again. So this was basically the aggregation based visualization. Now we'll be talking about TSVB. Basically, this is there for time series data. As I click on it, you will see you will get an idea what exactly will be visualization. So right here, you can see there is a timeline. Right now it is on per 3 hours for the last 7 days, but you are seeing the data as we go in the timeline. So right now we have the count. By default, it is taking the count. We'll be changing that to either unique value or maybe something, maybe max. We'll be selecting a field. Let's say, again, the product, say the base price, and we'll be either, yeah, now I'll be explaining it as we go. So what right now we are doing is we are selecting the max value of our product base price, this field. This is a field that is present in my index. So we are using that. And you are seeing all the max prices of this product over the timeline from October 30th to November 6th. We can change this time frame as well if you want to do last 24 hours or maybe last 30 days. We can do that. Let's work on last 7 days for now. Now, if we want to add more things to this particular time series data, what we can do is simply add a filter. Just maybe let's start with terms. We can add a term. We can add a field. Let's say I want to divide it with a day of week. Just click on it. What it will do is divide all the items from the day that it started. Like I am selecting 7 days right now. So on Monday we get this. We on Tuesday we get this, and like so. And now I don't want to view a date histogram. I want this in metric. So I'll just select that option. You can see it is divided into 7 days again and showing just the metric of it. If I just want the top n values, I'll do that. It's pretty easy. Age, it is showing me a nice gauge of it. If I just want markdown values, I'll do that. If I just want a table, I'll do that. Right now, it will not create a table because I have not selected that particular field. But yeah, that is also pretty simple. You can select certain fields for certain type of visualizations. So yeah, I hope you get an idea of how TSVB is helping us creating time series visualization. So you can just save that again. And let's say I don't want it under a particular dashboard for now. Just, just TSVP. I'll use the same test tag for it, and I'll add it to our library. Now let's redirect to the library again. Of course, you have to click on the hamburger, click on the visualize library. You can see our newly created visualization. It will be showing us the type, the last updated time, and you can of course edit it based on what you want. Basically, you will click on this, it will redirect you there. Let's just see it right here. You can do the changes and save it again. I hope it is making sense. Now, we'll be deep diving into something that is new and that is now commonly used, because we don't want this type of aggregation based and TSVB type of visualization. I just wanted you to have an idea of what exactly they are and how you can use it if needed. But now people don't use that. We basically go to Lens. It is a nice feature that allows you to use any kind of field with just drop down uh, like option. So let's say I just search for product name here again, and I want my visualization to have that field. So I'll just click on it and I'll just drop it down. Come on, right here, and it will take it nicely. Right now, the by default, it takes top 5 values of that. So it is just creating this. Now you'll see we had separate aggregations previously, but in the Lens, you have all the options all together. Right here, if you see, right now it is on bar, but you can change it to line, you can change it to area, you can change it to table as well. You can do all kind of stuff right here pretty quickly. So people prefer using Lens now. Of course, you can see it is pretty handy. And similar to aggregation, you can do all the changes here too. If you don't want 5 values, just click on this. You can add change the number of values to 10. if you don't want it to be ascending, descending, if you don't want it to be left aligned, anything, you can do multiple type of personalization here. So all of them works pretty nicely. I'll be saving one of them again just to show you, let's say test lens, and I'll be using the tag again. Hopefully you get an idea now of the process. Now we have this nice visualization. Another thing that we can do now, let me just change this to either bar or something. So right now it is showing me the bar values of all the top 10 values because I have selected that. But what we can do is we can drop down multiple values. Suppose I want to see the base price of it again. So I'll just drop it down and it will aggregate it based on that. So you can see I'm seeing both of the values now. I'm seeing all the different kind of product names and their values segregated based on the count of records. You can just click on it. If you don't want medium, you can just click on sum and it will try to show you the sum of all the base prices. So it gives you a nice option of having multiple fields over a single visualization. I hope that is making sense. Now we can move on to our last part, which is our geo maps. So I know like bar charts are good. I know pie charts are good. I know visualizations are good in general. But if we are dealing with regions, if we are dealing with a certain kind of area, of course, we want to have a map to better visualize it, right? So let's step away from the web for a second, and because like retail doesn't stop at checkout, you have to have certain kind of maps on certain kinds of areas that you want to visualize it. So we have Kibana maps for it, geo maps for it. This is a nice option that you can use, and you can see your data live getting updated over maps. So what it allows us to do is you can track your shipping delays by region. You can check your volume density over states or over cities, over any kind of area. You can monitor your delivery time as well. If you have a delivery time data, you can do that. So I hope like that is the fun part of it. You can do, and you can just the nice part is that you can layer your own data here. Let's try to deep dive into it in the demo. So right here, let's redirect to home. Yeah. So here you'll see after you click in the hamburger, you'll see an option of maps. If you click on it, it will redirect you to map. You can just click on create maps and it will give you a nice empty map for you to work on. Similar to that, if I go to visualize library, I click on create visualization and I select maps, it will redirect me to the same window. So both of them are same. You don't have to get confused. So both of them are same basically. And now you have an empty map right here and you want to add your data. So let me zoom in a little bit. Let's say, what are we dealing with? So similar to all of the previous visualization, you have the add filter option. You can do same things with this KQL bar, which is our filter bar. You can select a time range. All of them are same. On the specific type of data, you can do this. But the different part here is you have layers of maps. So right now there is a base map, which is our empty map here. If I click on this button, it will basically hide the layers. So let me just hide it. You can see it is gone. So that is there just to hide a certain kind of layer. You'll see why it is there in a little bit. But you can edit a base layer as well if you want to have certain kind of zoom levels. If you don't like the font of it, if you want to change the color of it, you can do that. Other than that, let me just close it. So basically, if you want to visualize your data here, you'll have to click on add layer. It will provide you multiple options of having your data from different sources. So if I just want Elasticsearch data, I can just relocate it to Elasticsearch, and you'll see you can use document, ESQL, and clusters. Every kind of option is there. If you just want the reference for it, we have boundaries already set to this map. We'll be using that. If you just want the solutions of it, we can of course have a machine learning job in the background and we can have that data here too. Right now, for the sake of simplicity, what we'll do is we'll work on our existing data. Let's try to use documents. Let's try, since I only have this data e-commerce, I'll be selecting that. And by default, what it does is select that field that has a geo IP. Like I had the field named as geo IP location. So it is selecting that field right here. And you can just click on add and continue. So it has added that layer above the base map. You can see we have certain points now in our map that are showing us some kind of data. I'll be explaining what exactly we are seeing there. But right now, let's go and add another layer. Just a sec, close this one, add layer. Now what we'll be doing is maybe let's add a cluster, geo IP. We want it to be cluster and let's add and continue. Now, what options we have with maps is like we have multiple options right here. Right now, what I'm doing is adding just a layer of count aggregation above our locations. So you can see right now it is showing me a count of 79. Basically, what it is doing is 79 docs are from San Diego and 229 are from Washington. And if I change that to maybe let's say a unique count, let's provide a field of product, of course, or maybe not product. Let's do some kind of money related. Let's do tax. Yeah, let's do taxable total price. So what it will show you is uh, the whole area. What is the taxed total price that is coming from that particular region? So let's say I do that. And of course, yeah, you have multiple options here. You can basically change all kind of filtering. If you don't want it to apply to the global search, you can do that. You like it is highly customizable. So if you don't like this color, even you can change that too. Anything you can, like here you can see label visibility. I don't want this color. I want it to be red. I'll do that. I don't want the label to be 14. I want 15. I'll do that. Anything. And just you can click on keep changes and it will do it nicely. If I talk about another layer, what I'll do is I'll just go here. Let's say EMS boundaries. Let's say, so basically what EMS boundaries are is already predefined boundaries that are there to a map, and you can add those as well, other than your own data. So Elastic provides you a nice way to adding boundaries and all the map related stuff pretty easily through this. So let's see all the options. We have different countries with all the regions. So we'll be working with US, of course. So let's say US states. So you'll see it is getting highlighted pretty nicely. So you can divide your data amongst this state. You can see that really nicely after you have added that layer. Let's say add and continue. Of course, you can do like customization here as well. If you don't like the color, you can change that. If you don't like the you want it to be opaque, you can do that, anything. So after this, after you've added multiple layers, what you will do is, as I said, we have options of hiding that layer as well. You can just click here, it will hide that layer. You can bring it back simply by a click of button. So then again, this, you find your visualization, you created your map, you have your data nicely, you want to use that on a dashboard. You'll again click on the save button, similar process, pretty easy. You'll add it to our existing dashboards. Let's say I add it to my test dashboard. I give it a title, my test map, and I go and save it. You can see it is added pretty nicely. You can see the whole map. You can change the zoom it or maybe zoom out it, anything. It is highly customizable. So I hope you get an idea of what we are dealing with Kibana. It is pretty easy. The UI is really simple and really nice, achievable visualization we can get really easily. So after maps, we'll be talking about one more really nice feature that Kibana is offering, which is our alerts and automation. So let me just quickly go back to my, let's click on home. And so what exactly are alerts and automation, you ask, right? So you have your dashboards. Dashboards are great, of course, but what if you could have Elastic watch your system for you, right? That's where alerts and automation comes into play. And like you can set your own rules. You can set your own rules. Like, let me give you an example. Like, alert me if checkout errors jumps above 1%. You have the data, you know, you don't want to watch it, like sit and watch it again and again, right? So you can just set an alert for it. It will alert you like your checkout errors are getting above 1%. You should do something about it. So Elastic has a really easy way to achieve that. Again, click on the hamburger. You can see right here in the stack management, you have this alerts and insights. If you don't want to do that, you can just type alerts here and it will give you the same window. Like right here, I have selected maintenance window by mistake, but you can jump into any of the options right here. For now, I'll be explaining what exactly are alerts and how you can use them. So for that, basically there are two steps right here. First, you create a rule that you want, which is a condition. Like you want the alert to be triggered after 1% of checkout errors, right? So that is a condition. You provide that to Kibana, you create that rule. On the top of that rule, you create that alert. That what action do you want to perform if this condition is met? You want to have an email, you want me to message you on Slack, you want me to message you on Ops Genie, anything. All of them are achievable. I'll show you what are the different kind of options Kibana is offering us. But right now, let's try to create a simple rule for us to get a better understanding of this. Let's say right now, if you redirect to rules part of it, it will give you an option of create your first rule, which is nice. Just click on the button. If you have multiple rules, you have this button on the top right. Just click on it. Right now, you will see all the options that are available through Kibana. You will see we can create alerts of different types. If you want cluster health, if you want APM anomaly, if you want CPU usage, you want to monitor your disk usage, all the system alerts are there as well, and all your data alerts are there as well. As you see, index threshold. It is a threshold alert on a specific data, on a specific index. So you can do that as well. We have multiple options. So for the sake of simplicity and for the sake of understanding, we'll be using index threshold only. Let's click on it. Yeah, right here you can see a nice UI that we are using for creating it. So the first thing that it is asking is select your indices. Of course, Elastic wants to know which exactly what data you want your alert to be on, right? So we'll just click on it. We will type our Kibana e-commerce data. Right now, it is giving me all the system data views as well. Like if you want to do something on the system data, you can do that, but we don't want that right now. We'll be selecting our Kibana sample data e-commerce, and we'll be selecting a time field. Let's say it has 3 time field. Let's say products create on. And after that, you have selected that. It is showing you a nice count of it. Right now, I don't have the data live, of course. So it is showing me as a 0 line. But if you have a live data, it will definitely show you here with a nice date histogram. So after that, we define our condition. Let's say when count, it is telling me if you want to select a count or not. We have multiple options when average, when sum, when minimum, when maximum. For now, we'll be using count over all the documents. What it does is you can select a subset of documents as well. We don't want all documents. We just want top documents. We can do that. We want effective results. We can do that. Right now, we'll be using all documents. Now, the condition is that is above 1000. This is by default. We can, of course, change that. So I'll be changing it to, let's say, is below. And let's say just one document. So what it is doing right now, and for the last 5 minutes, let me explain it. So when the count of all the documents, over all the documents, of course, so is below 1, for the last 5 minutes, it will trigger this condition. Like we have defined this condition and it will get triggered based on these events. And right now I don't have anything. So of course it is below 1. And of course you can see the UI part of it as I increase it. Suppose I do it 10. So you can see it is getting increased in the date histogram as well. But for the sake of this test, we'll just use 1. And like after selecting the index, after defining the condition, it will ask, like it has an option of adding a filter as well. Of course, it is optional. We can use the entire data set, or you can add a certain field, certain type of data, certain subset here as well. But we don't want that. So I'll be ignoring that. Now, it is asking me a rule schedule. What exactly does a rule schedule mean? So you want it to be like the rule to check all this data every 1 minute. You want it to check every 10 minutes. Like this is the condition you define based on your data. Suppose I had certain severe data set and I want it to get checked really frequently. So I'll be using it every 1 minute. But if I had something that can be checked once a day as well, so I'll be using it as 24 hour every 24 hours. So we can do that. For now, I'll be using every 1 minute. Other than that, we have advanced option as well. We can do a alert delay, which is basically if we have consecutive matches of this alert getting triggered, we can select it as 10. So after 110 matches, it will then alert me. We have a delay set, but right now I don't want that. So let's remove it. And we also have an option of alert flapping detection. Basically it detects how many times in like suppose all the rules are, you can just read this, all the rules detect alert are is not flapping because the status changes 4 times in the last 20 rule runs. You can define a condition here as well. If you want, like in my 20 last runs, I just wanted it to get triggered 4 times and then only I wanted an action, you can do that too. But let's not do that right now. I'll be closing that. Now, after this condition is met, there is another option of action. So we'll be adding a quick action of our email. We have multiple options based on the connector. We'll be dealing with that later. But yeah, right now I'll be using my own email, which is at hyperflex.co. I'll be adding a subject of elastic test rule run, and I'll be just saving that. So basically I've added an action of email. Elastic has its own default SMTP cloud, which is using, like we can use this to provide us with an email. We can have this action selected and it will give us a nice email whenever this alert is triggered. We have other options as well. We'll go over the list of it. So after this, there is an option of details as well. Whether you want certain details to be present in that email, whether you want certain fields to be present in that email, you can do that too. Right now, I don't want that. So let's just create the rule. Now it is created. And as we only selected the condition to be below 1, of course, it will be below 1 because I don't have any live data. So it should get triggered. So let me redirect to my email as well. Hopefully I have that here. Yeah, let me just do that. And you can see right here, pretty nicely, we got an email of all the things that we wanted. We didn't specify anything, but yeah, it is getting triggered with Elastic alerts. You are getting the same subject here and it is working pretty nicely. Pretty simple, just the UI part of it. You are getting alerts when the condition is getting triggered. Now, suppose you don't want this to work anymore. You want it to basically get disabled. What you can do is simply go here, click on this, and sorry, not here, rules. Yeah, click on this and you can just either disable it, you can even delete it, you can edit it, you can do anything. For now, I'll just disable it. So I'll be not receiving any email every second, every minute. All right. So I hope you get an idea of rules. We'll quickly deep dive into connectors as well. What are the options that Elastic is providing us? So by default, it has these two options of Elastic managed LLMs. These are for AI purposes. Basically, when you have a job, machine learning job, you can use this, but we are not using that right now. The other option is of email. We have the Elastic Cloud SMTP, which is easy to use. I just showed you. We can use that. But if we want something else, we want it to trigger a Slack message. You can just click on the top right create connector button and you will see all the options, multiple options that Kibana is providing. You will see you can do a AI connector, CloudStrike, or maybe IBM Resilient, and index as well. You can even index your own data when it is getting triggered too. You can do that on Jira, Teams, PagerDuty, even Slack, multiple options. I hope you can do a webhook as well. I hope you get an idea that we can define any kind of action based on our condition, and hopefully we will get all the alerts pretty nicely. Yeah, so that was all for the alerts part of it. I hope you get the idea of what exactly we are working with in terms of visualization, in terms of dashboards, in terms of alerts and automations.
Thanks a lot, Sarvagya. That was really interesting. Uh, do we have any questions? I actually do have one question. So, as someone who is, new to Elastic, would you say whatever you have presented today is that advanced or basic? Where in the spectrum do you think this lies?
Okay, yeah, that is a good question. So right now, as in the first episode, I have covered some all the basic part of it, and right now I've covered some kind of advanced topics for, because in if you are in retail, we are capturing the retail audience. If you are there, you have to know the visualization part of it, the dashboard part of it. So I'll say it is somewhere in between. It is not exactly pretty advanced. You can see the UI was pretty easy to understand. You can just do click some buttons and you can create a visualization pretty easily. I just did that in front of you. So that is there. But of course, you need some kind of background to achieve this. So yeah, I'll say it is somewhere in between. We can definitely achieve it pretty easily.
Okay, that's great to know. I also have one more question. Do you think, whatever you have shown us today, is it only available for licensed clients?
No. So all these features that I've presented right now is there in free tier as well. Of course, licensed tier also have this, but it is available for totally open source, totally free.
That's great. Thank you so much, Sarvagya, for doing this webinar. This was super, super insightful. I'm sure we have learned a lot. Whoever had no idea about how Elastic is being used in the retail sector will now walk away with something really tangible. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. This session is part of our ongoing Kibana in Action series. We also host webinars, meetups, podcasts, and blogs covering everything Elastic. If you'd like to watch past episodes or stay updated for the future ones, do visit us at hyperflex.co. If you are interested in doing a podcast or a webinar with us, please reach out to us at marketing@hyperflex.co. Also, please do not forget to follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. We put a lot of updates and content up there, so please do follow us there. Once again, thank you to everyone for being here, and we'll see you in the next episode of Kibana in Action.